Hello, my name is Patrick Farrell, and for my assignment, I would like to do a walkthrough of the trip to Weathertop and elaborate on how I feel this section of the book was remediated into both the movie and the game. Behind me, you'll see that there are some trees, and at my feet is a stream, and that makes me think that this is the location that was adapted from this section of text. It was already night when at last they halted and made their camp under some stunted alder trees by the shores of the stream. Ahead, there loomed now against the dusky sky the bleak and treeless backs of the hills. And looking around, you can see that there are hills looming above us. Let's mount up and continue our journey to the next section that I feel was adapted from the novel. In this next location, I'm going to stop, and this is the section of text I feel they're adapting here. In the morning they found, for the first time since they had left Chetwood, a track plain to see. They turned right and followed it southwards. It ran cunningly, taking a line that seemed chosen so as to keep as much hidden as possible from view, both of the hilltops above and of the flats to the west. It dived into dells and hugged steep banks, and where it passed over flatter and more open ground on either side of it, there were lines of large boulders and huge stones that screened the travelers almost like a hedge. Under my horse's hooves here, you see that there is a worked path, and to the left we have a steep bank, and to our right are large hewn stones, all of which screen travelers along this path. Above, we see, or ahead, we see a stone wall that's very reminiscent of the type of stonework that we see in Bree and also in the Barrow Downs. And I think this is what prompts Mary to say in this next paragraph, "I wonder who made this path and what for," said Mary, as they walked along one of these avenues, where the stones were unusually large and closely set. "I'm not sure I like it. It has, well, a rather Barrow-whitish look. Is there any Barrow on Weathertop?" I think that mention of the Barrow whites again certainly serves to up the ante of the suspense in this section. Certainly they don't have Tom Bombadil to get them out of a jam, and Strider's assurance that there are no Barrow Downs on Weathertop might or might not be much of a comfort to the hobbits. Certainly enough has gone wrong in their trip so far that they're looking for things to go wrong rather than go right. We're coming up now on a burned out camp, and I feel that this section that we see here is a remediation of a location that was described in the book. On the western flank of Weathertop, they found a sheltered hollow, at the bottom of which there was a bowl-shaped dell with grassy sides. There they left Sam and Pippin with the pony, with their packs and luggage. They also describe in another section finding firewood that was left by rangers for the use of people traveling in this area. And there are some there is some firewood. Yes, here it is. left nearby the campsite for the use of Frodo and his party that Strider finds for them. I think it's interesting that Peter Jackson sets all of the action for this section of the book on the top of Weathertop. And I think he does that just to compress the action and to eliminate scene changes, because certainly this is a spread out area in the book. It doesn't make a lot of sense for them to split up the party and have three of the hobbits, or two of the hobbits, go up to the top of Weathertop with Strider, and have the other two left in a vulnerable place down at the foot when there are ring raids in the area. In fact, in my mind, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the party to come to Weathertop at all, but I guess it's just such a dramatic setting for a huge fight in the book to have it on a mountaintop that Tolkien couldn't resist. And I guess Peter Jackson feels the same way, that the fight is much more exciting surrounded by the ruins of Amon Sul at the top of the Weathertop hill. And here we are going, we're getting rather close to the top, and as we get towards the top here, we are going to go over this rise and then down into a slight dip. And I seem to remember in the book, but I can't seem to find it, where that dip was described. And it's kind of bothering me that I can't find it, because I think it's really clever if it was there for them to remember it and adapt it. Here we get to the top of Weathertop, and it's described as in the following way in the book. On the top they found, as Strider had said, a wide ring of ancient stonework, now crumbling or covered with age-long grass. And we certainly see the crumbling stonework, and there are some tufts of long grass. But in the center of the cairn of broken in the center, a cairn of broken stones had been piled. They were blackened as if with fire. About them the turf was burned to the roots, and all within the ring the grass was scorched and shriveled, as if flame had swept the hilltop. But there was no sign of any living thing. And here we have our cairn of blackened stones. And here we see a white rock, and that is the one that Gandalf has marked with his signature and the date, cryptically, of course. And that figures into a quest in the game where we take rubbings of it and show it to Candaith the Ranger below. Standing at the rim of the ruined circle, they saw all around below them a wide prospect, for the most part the lands empty and featureless, except for patches of woodland away to the south, beyond which they saw here and there the glint of distant water. Beneath them on the southern side ran like a ribbon the old road coming out of the west and winding up and down until it faded behind a ridge of dark land to the east. Nothing was moving on it. Following its line, eastern with their eyes, they saw the mountains. The near foothills were brown and somber. Behind them stood taller shapes of gray, and behind those again were high white peaks glimmering among the clouds. "Well, we are here," said Mary. And here we are, at the top of Weathertop, and we can see, off to the east, the tops of mountains, or at least you can when it's not actually night. Peter Jackson, of course, sets all of the action up here amongst the ruins of Amun-Sul, which compresses the action and scenes down to just one, and does make for a more dramatic and demonstrable scene in the movie. And in the game, of course, I think they've done a more faithful adaptation of what would have transpired in the novel. Well, this is my walkthrough of the trip to Weathertop. I hope that it was enjoyable and that it rang true to you. I hope to see you again online soon.